Sound. It gives emotion, makes the audience feel what you want them to feel. And then the image gives something to associate this emotion with. And that's why today I'm sharing with you how to choose the best microphone for your streaming and content creation needs. I found that my gear videos were a little long and I wanted to dive deeper into some of the specific topics that I want to make. So I decided to try out this other format and make shorter videos about one specific topic than try to encompass everything into one video. So, microphones. There are so many of them and they're so different from one another. If I want to be honest and helpful to every single one of you out there, then I cannot wholeheartedly say that one microphone is the best thing out there, because there is no such thing. What I can do, however, is to encourage you to think about your needs by asking you the right questions. How do you choose your microphone? Well, first and probably the most important question to ask yourself is what kind of environment are you going to be capturing the audio in? And I'm talking about the worst case scenario here. Are you always creating in the comfort of your studio, or do you also create content outdoors or simply in another location? If so, how far away is your microphone from the camera? How close can you realistically get to your microphone? Are you okay with holding it in your hand or for it to be in the frame? How much freedom of movement do you need while recording or live streaming? Do you have a person filming you, or is your camera stationary like mine is on a tripod? Answering this question will help determine the type of microphone that you need. In the comfort of your own studio with talking headshots like this, studio condenser or dynamic microphones such as this one are a default option. If your studio is not sound treated, then dynamic microphone will likely be a better option. But this is the best case scenario that you're likely to be in, and what you're trying to concentrate on is the worst case scenario. So if you record headshots like this and also film outside, then lavalier, stage or on-camera microphone would be a much better purchase if you can afford only one microphone, because obviously they are much better equipped to handle the worst case scenarios than the microphones that are designed for studio usage. Of course, ideally you would have a specific microphone for each task, but for majority of us this is not an option financially. If I could only have one microphone for all of my video production and live streaming, that I would highly suggest VideoMic Go 2 that I'm actually using right now. I don't know if it's in the frame. Or its older brother, VideoMic NTG. It is very similar looking, but because it runs on the internal battery that powers its preamps, it can produce better audio that is very similar to the sound quality of NTG5 from what I've seen in the review videos. Both VideoMic Go 2 and VideoMic NTG are flexible enough to be connected to any device while having good enough sound quality for any sort of content creation. Speaking of connection, the second question that I want you to ask yourself is what are you going to be plugging your microphone into? There are three types of audio connections out there. Actually, let me show you, which are XLR, TRS or also TRSS, and USB. There are also RCA and TS and optical signals, but with microphones we're only concerned about the first three. So if you're going to be plugging your microphone directly into the camera, then it needs to have a 3.5mm TRS plug, which is basically the same one that you have in your normal smartphone headphones. TRRS is a very similar connector, but it's usually present in a headset type of devices, as it can carry the stereo sound into your headphones and mono sound out of the headset microphone. Think of all the cheap earphones that you get with your phone that have a microphone built into them. Those use a TRRS plug. So if the device you're plugging the headset into has two different ports, one for microphone and one for headphones, then you will need an adapter that will separate your one TRRS cable into two TRS cables that can be individually connected to each port. Likewise, if your microphone has a TRS port, you will not be able to use it with a smartphone without an adapter to TRRS. Microphones that are generally considered more professional have an XLR port, and they can only be connected to an audio interface or audio recorders that have an XLR or quarter-inch TRS connector. And USB microphones are made to be connected to a computer or a smartphone directly, but cannot be connected straight into the camera or audio recorder. At least not yet, I think. There may be some audio recorders that support a USB signal, but I don't know about any of them. The reason is that USB connection carries a digital signal, meaning that the sound was already converted into one ones and zeros for your computer or smartphone to understand, but other connectors are designed to work with analog signals. And the last question to ask yourself is related and sort of two questions combined together. What kind of production are you working on, and how long are you going to use this microphone for? For example, if you're an audio engineer and you happen to use all of your production level equipment for your content creation, that's awesome. Most of us, however, are not in that position, so we need to plan for the long-term realistic ceiling of our content, because at any point when we have a need to go past that proverbial ceiling, we start feeling the limitation of our gear and having the need to upgrade. That's when our wants for the new gears becomes our needs to upgrade. So, as an example, let's say I am creating a YouTube video or just any video content. I might not even need a microphone for that, as I can just get a good audio recorder with built-in capsules like Zoom H1N, which costs around 100 euros, dollars, whatever, euro dollars. But as soon as I want to live stream or get into a video call or a live seminar, I practically use that ability, because that audio recorder cannot connect to a computer. That 100 euro dollars is gone, and I cannot use it for any new purpose. So I have to buy something else in order to cover that need for higher production quality. So the best microphone for you is hidden somewhere in the gap between the best case scenario environment and how does it sound in the worst case scenario environment, which is why you need to plan ahead and think, what are the limitations that I'm ready to live with, and how much am I willing to pay to solve this limitation? Compare those two answers to each other and you can come to a rational conclusion. And it's not only limited to microphones. Like, if I need to film in the dark without too much noise, do I buy a more expensive camera and lens, or do I just buy more lights in order to fix that problem? There are always a multitude of solutions for the production problems, and the ability of producing better results with cheaper gear is what ultimately makes you a better creator. I hope I managed to help you narrow down your choices, and I would appreciate it a lot if you could support my content by sending me a tip through the link in the description, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.